Alright guys, so today I have promised you a video but never really gotten to it. As you know, the coronavirus thing stopped a lot of stuff, haven't been able to get a lot of gameplay, and the camera that we are using to record is very expensive. I don't have that kind of money, so I have a cameraman that owns the camera, so he always comes over and does the videos with me. So finally, as I promised, we're going to be doing a review of the Saw box mag. This is the 2,500 round version, and I'm going to go over the specs of it, the problems that I found, and the good parts of it. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to notice... Sorry.
Keep going.
Alright, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the sound control system. The reason this is so expensive and the reason that it is so wanted in the LMG community is because if you pop it in your gun, it's kind of, I don't want to say hard, but it's kind of irritating to have to push buttons or wind up anything. So what they decided to do is put a microphone in here. So there's actual wiring that goes down through the second tube, and on the bottom you have a switch to control if you want to set it to sound control, which means that whenever the piston is going back and forth, it'll pick it up here and it'll automatically load the mag, which is pretty cool. While you're firing, it reloads, so theoretically you never run out of ammo until you have to reload. The other option that you have is auto. So when you switch to auto, it just runs and then you switch off when you're done. Unless you're laying in a big stream of plastic, then you can just keep it on auto and hope for the best. Alright, the next thing I'm going to go over is the latch that goes into the gun itself. Now, since this is all plastic, it seems a little bit cheap, and that is no exception with this. When you have it in the gun, it seems to wobble around a bit, and honestly, it feels like it's about to fall off whenever you move it, or shoot it, lay it down, anything. And that's probably my main concern with it, because if this falls out of your gun, tears anything in here, that's going to set you back quite a few dollars. So that has been one of the top problems with this, and I'm going to go over a couple more later in the video. Alright, the second problem I have with it is the sound control system. Now, that is the main thing here, and in my opinion, they should have perfected it a little bit, although I know that they probably had quite a few problems with picking up the certain sound emissions. So, there's a microphone right here that detects whenever the piston is moving, and it sends through the wiring to here, which turns the motor. But if you happen to bounce this mag against anything, or I guess rock the gun at all, it will whine because it picks up that sound. So if you have it on sound control all the time and you're moving through the field, you're eventually just going to keep winding the mag over and over, and I'm no expert, but I don't think that's very good for it. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the main flaws right now. Now I guess let's get into the internals. So, to open this up and load it and install the batteries, there are two tabs here. You only have to undo one of them. So, if you want to zoom this in a little bit, this tab right here. You press in on this, at the same time you pull out on this tab, and you can lift it up, like yeah. Once you have it open, you can just rock it out and it's fine. Inside here, it'll take two AA batteries. That's what powers it. If you look up more videos on how to mod this, you can find people that have wired it to take rechargeable batteries and whatnot. Right here is your BB compartment, where you can store probably a few more than 2,500 BBs. And I'd say the design that they have in here is pretty good, where it bevels down, where the BBs roll down into a large line in there, and then they all roll down into the hose here, and then they just get fed up. Another problem I've had with this is the batteries. The compartment right here does not fully go up to press against them. So often what happens whenever I take that off is they either pop out or they're half out. Like that, if you want to zoom in a little bit on that. They'll be like that. And a few times during gameplay I've had the box not do anything, and it was because the batteries had come out. Alright, so, again, I have another flaw with this. I'm starting to think that the $55 price mark on this is not worth it. So, for the BBs to get up here, they have to go through this hose. And what I thought was a hose originally is actually just a coiled up spring. So, any dirt or sand that's on your field can just soak right in there. and that can give you a lot of feeding troubles, and it's not very fun having to disassemble this entire thing. Okay, so a couple more things before we actually test it out. So right here you have another door. You can open this up if you want to zoom in again. I know I'm making you work a lot in this video, but you open that door up, and that's another area where you can pour BBs through. If you're on the field or something, you run out for some reason, you can just open that up and pour them in instead of having to take this whole thing out and have them jump fly in there. Another problem with it is if you get any BBs in there, a lot of people have complained that they will get stuck in the gears and will give you some trouble. I haven't had that problem yet, but I have been pretty careful on keeping the BBs that come fit. Alright. I guess let's put it in the gun and test it out. Alright guys, so now we're going to do a fitting test and a feeding test. First we'll do the feeding test. So, as I stated earlier, to get this part, you pull on this tab and pull up on the opposite one. Not that hard. Put your batteries in, and then you take your BBs right here and you pour into this hole. I'm only going to use a couple for the demo. Alright, got a few hundred in there, good amount. And put that away. Take the cover, drop that back on just so it doesn't get too messy. And get us a bin. Want to salvage the BB. So, first we're going to put it to auto. Just does that, and the BBs will go right up on. Then you set it to sound control. If you hit it, it will work. So I guess it works, but sometimes it works too well, I guess you could say. Then we are going to put those out and set it to auto. See how, I guess, fast it is. Because if you have a high fire rate gun like my saw, then you have to have the mag that keeps up. Pretty good, it's a little bit fountain. Alright, now that we've gone through that, we're going to go to the fitting of the gun. So, we've got the m249 featherweight saw here, and I'm going to insert this to the mag well. So this is pretty complicated. You want to zoom in, you put that in there a little bit, like a quarter of the way. Then you take your magazine and you slide it in there. At the same time, it's pretty tricky. Another flaw. It's kind of an odd design, but oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You're gonna edit this, right?
Yeah. I'll cut it to you actually just putting it in.
Oh my god. It's still not in.
Oh my gosh. This thing is a pain in the...
Yeah. Okay. Alright. It's in. So, that was a quick reload tactical. Alright, so, once it's in, wobbles around like crazy. This doesn't even latch in. I don't know if it's like this on all of them, but on this it is. And it seems kind of cheap. But, I will give it this. It has a very high capacity, and it hasn't given me a problem yet with feeding or, I guess, having any problems with jumping in the mat. So, I do have a video of me playing with it, which I will upload. It'll be down below. And I guess that's it for this video. Subscribe if you want to. I'll be doing a few more reviews on guns, some gameplay videos, and I'll be doing a few tutorials. A little sneak peek, I've made some claymores and landmines. You'll want to check that out. It's me saying bye. I'm going to turn it straight on.